was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our...
In this explosive episode of Illuminate, we break down the congressional resolution to censure Representative Ilhan Omar after her shocking remarks pledging to protect Somalia's interests from inside the U.S. government. Has Omar violated her oath of allegiance? Is this the moment America finally draws the line? Watch as we expose the truth the mainstream media refuses to touch.
Georgia seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A.1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
Recognized.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon becoming a citizen, declaring, I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. Whereas on January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, for as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system. Whereas George Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism more than any appellation derived from local discriminations. Whereas these statements by Representative Omar clearly violate the oath she took as an elected member of Congress to defend and protect the United States Constitution. Whereas Representative Omar has exhibited the treasonous tendencies George Washington warned about, and her actions must be condemned by all members of Congress who adhere to the oath they took upon assuming office. And whereas by openly admitting her efforts to advance Somalia's interest using her position as a United States representative, Representative Omar has revealed herself to be a foreign agent acting on behalf of a foreign government. Now, therefore be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee of the Budget and the Committee on Education and the Workforce.
Welcome back to Illuminate, the channel where truth still matters and where we expose the lies, corruption, and hypocrisy that threaten the very foundation of our republic. If you believe America deserves leaders who put our country first, then hit that subscribe button like this video and help us fight back against the radical agenda tearing this nation apart. Now, let's talk about what just happened in Congress because, folks, this is big. A representative from Georgia just introduced a resolution to censure Ilhan Omar, the Democrat from Minnesota. And let me tell you, this is long overdue. According to the resolution, Omar made treasonous remarks during a speech in Minneapolis back in January 2024. She reportedly told Somali Americans that the U.S. government will only do what they want, that Washington must follow their orders, and that as long as she's in Congress, she'll protect the interests of Somalia, not America. Just stop and think about that for a second. A sitting member of the United States Congress openly saying she's using her position to protect another country's interests? Folks, that's not just wrong. It's a betrayal of her oath, a betrayal of her constituents, and a betrayal of the very nation she swore to defend. Every member of Congress takes an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States. Not to Somalia, not to any other foreign power, but to the stars and stripes. Yet here we have Ilhan Omar, someone who came to this country, built her career here, and rose to one of the highest offices in our land, turning around and openly aligning herself with a foreign government. This is exactly what George Washington warned us about back in his farewell address in 1796. He said to beware of the impostures of pretended patriotism. He warned us that divided loyalties, foreign influence, and corrupt politicians would one day endanger the Republic if we didn't stand guard. And right now, we are seeing that warning come to life. What's even more shocking is how quiet the mainstream media has been about this. If a Republican had said anything even remotely close to this, if they had pledged loyalty to another country, the outrage would be deafening. But when it's Ilhan Omar, the liberal establishment stays silent. The left protects its own, even when they cross the line into potential treason. The resolution calls for Omar to be formally censured and removed from her committee positions, the Budget Committee and the Education and Workforce Committee. And frankly, that's the bare minimum. If you or I swore allegiance to a foreign power while serving in a government position, we'd be in handcuffs. Yet in Congress, the radical left gets a pass every time. This isn't about partisanship, it's about patriotism. It's about whether the people we elect to serve our interests actually believe in the nation they represent. You can't claim to love America while defending foreign powers and undermining our sovereignty. And I'll tell you this. Every lawmaker who fails to condemn Omar's statements is complicit. Silence in the face of this betrayal is consent. If Congress can't even defend its own oath of office, what does that say about where we're headed as a country? America deserves better. We need leaders who love this nation, who fight for her values, and who never forget that our allegiance is to the United States of America, period. If you agree, make sure to subscribe to Illuminate, hit that like button, and share this video so the truth can break through the media blackout. Because while the establishment tries to silence patriots, we're going to keep shining a light on what's really happening behind closed doors. This is Illuminate, where we expose the darkness, defend the truth, and put America first.